It was after 1 a.m. a couple days ago, and I had an amazing idea about this project and I had to share it with you, so I wrote this email. To get my emails, which I send them regularly, you need to have one of my courses or one of my free resources. It can be the Blender tire model or my free sketching training. Go to bertkaplan.com so you can also be part of my email list. So let me tell you about how it went. On this project, as I mentioned also on the previous video, the 3D modeling phase, I was getting these comments online, and it's true. If I say this is a Formula 1 car for 2026, all these comments are correct. It just wouldn't work. But I was like, I wanted to do this concept study. It's like from 70s inspired, but at the end, it cannot be a new car. I mean, it might be sort of a resto mode of a Formula 1 car. I don't know. It's possible, but I needed a stronger story. So I was doing these visualizations. Let me show you here on Viscom. And I came to this point, like very moody renders of my own 3D model, like under the bridge, kind of abandoned, but the driver is still sitting inside on one of these renders, maybe on this one. I was like, wow, that looks so cool, very cinematic. The sun is hitting to the car. I can see the form, which is the key theme of this design. But what is it doing under the bridge? I was like, it's kind of lost. And I was like, the Lost Rider. I was like, wow, that's an amazing idea. Later I changed it to Lost Driver. Now I'm thinking it might be even the Lost Racer. Probably it first started from the Ghost Rider, the movie. I don't know how many years ago I watched this movie, and the sound, like the name sounds very cool, the Ghost Rider. So it's like the Lost Rider, you got the idea. But then I was like, okay, what is the story? Why is he lost? What does it mean? And I'm like, the era is unknown. It might be from 70s, 80s type of vibes. Maybe it's a parallel universe thing. Maybe it's like a time warp. Again, it's actually parallel universe type of, sci-fi fantasy approach. So I was thinking like, okay, maybe that's a driver with this unknown car. The car is from an era that we don't know. The driver, we have no idea. It's just the performance. It just smells good when it passes, because that's what I experienced in Monaco Historic Grand Prix. You hear the cars and you feel it everywhere because the vibration, it's so loud, and then you smell the car. And then you see them, the beauty of them, and they look different than each other. So all these things might be from another era, unknown, but you still feel the same. So I was even thinking like, wow, this can turn into, first, let me show you. Like here, I shared it on Instagram immediately at after 1 a.m. That's what happened. That's why I shared it on the email, because I got so excited and I had to share it with you. So it is the no records, no era, no identity. A machine that doesn't belong to the past or the future, only somewhere in between. They call him the Lost Rider. I got very excited about it, honestly. I even thought like, whoa, it can even be a movie, it can be a short movie or a proper movie. I was thinking I also asked to ChatGPT. After this point, I was like, the thing you read on the email, this last bit, I asked ChatGPT to how to write it in a cinematic way because my own English wouldn't sound as good. So I started to brainstorm. I was like developing the story already. First thing came to my mind is the driver, the racer, appears on some of the events, breaking a record, maybe racing somewhere or something happens. People are spotting and then he disappears. Nobody knows who is he. And then another racing event happens and he appears again and then it becomes a legend. But then I was like, but how he appears and just participate in a race? You cannot just appear in a Formula 1 and it happens. So it would be more like an underground races. Then I was like, what about some other characters, other design, like this Bugatti that I mentioned on the previous episodes. Like imagine also developing this design and it's another lost driver from the same era, maybe with this guy. And there are like a couple of them. They're racing on different events and then the police is chasing, FBI is chasing, who are them? And then, it's like a typical Hollywood movie type of thing. It's kind of funny story, but it fits. Like imagine showing this on your portfolio rather than saying that the problem and solution, everybody do it on the portfolio, which is very valid depends on the type of project. But imagine you just have passion for Formula 1, 70s cars, and you want to make a project rather than saying, I'm inspired by 70s cars, putting some of the images, and then the first sketches, the typical portfolio project, which works, nothing wrong with it. But imagine approaching from different angle. It starts with the lost driver, the lost racer, and then you have the image, then you have the story. The driver just appeared one day in the world with the car, looks like from 70s but from another universe. And then you start showing some renders and then you showing the ideation process, telling a bit of a story. I think it sounds very interesting. I would like to see on a portfolio a story like this, which would definitely grab attention. And that's the point of your portfolio. You want to grab attention in a good way. You want to be rememberable. So I'm sure if I've seen in a portfolio, I would remember that. So anyway, this is the story part that I was very excited. And then let me show you how I approached the visualization of this project. Because after I got the 3D model, I just took very basic renders with the cycles, but you know, the flat background, there's just a ground. Let me show you again. Of course, I hide this too. And we have a simple plane. This cube is at the beginning of the 3D model, just to know the dimensions correctly. Let's hide those. So it's a very simple scene. I got a couple of renders, then I put them back to Viscom, just like here. And you can attach a couple of these images into one modify box and write a prompt to put the car in different environments. I already made videos about it on the channel, so I will not go into very details. But one extra tip I want to give today is, oh no, I deleted the bad results. Okay, because I want to have a bit lighter file, I deleted some of the things that I don't like. But first I typed something like put the car under the bridge. There is the light coming through the bridge and so on. Like I typed it myself with my poor English skills, and then the results were not that good. It was somehow showing the bridge, like it was like a bad collage, let's put it this way. Not half as good as this. And what is the prompt for this one? Well, let's see it together. It is that long of a prompt. Maybe it's a bit overkill, maybe it's a bit too long. I didn't even read it. I just went to ChatGPT, I put this image there, and I said, I'm gonna upload this image to Viscom, and I need a prompt, and I want the car to look cinematic under the bridge. Half of the car is under the light. You know, I explained it myself, and then it gave me this, transform this car render into a cinematic, ultra-realistic automotive photography scene while keeping the exact car angle. So it just made what I said in a more poetic and detailed way. And bam, the results. They just get way better than I could do it myself when the prompt is from me. And look at these. And then I was like, okay, let's not stop here. Like this is very good renders, but I want to see the car in different environments as well. So here, let's see. This prompt, maybe I wrote it myself. Put the car in front of a historic European building during the day. Half shadow of the building covers the car. Cinematic scenes, feels spacious, side view of the car. So there are different prompts for images probably, but when I like some of them, I just take it, I say add more details and refine. For example, these ones are more refined versions maybe. This one is a good image, I think I shared also on Instagram. So it's like a step-by-step process. Some of them I use ChatGPT to help me with the prompt. Some of them I wrote them myself. Some of them are very simple prompts. Some of them are very long prompts. Like let's see this one, for example, put the car. I think I wrote it myself. When it starts with put the car, I think I write this prompts generally. Put the car in Goodwood, speeding track. Photo of it is taking while speeding. Look, that's beautiful. And then I like it, so I said change the green body color into British racing green. Okay, but I didn't like these ones, so I kept it as it is. But rather than explaining everything at once, you can first get the image you like, and then you can say change the color, change the tires, change the background, add more people, add more cars. You know, it's like step by step you can develop the results rather than trying to get the perfect one at once. Another one here is more like an abandoned scene. Again, I use the ChatGPT prompt. It's quite cool. I mean, now it becomes like AI-ish feeling. I'm aware of this, but depends on your story. It might make sense. I didn't even write it on Instagram, but for example, I shared the post to show you like Sketch, Viscom, Blender, and Viscom. But if I were to say a story, it's a good practice, you know, it's a good skill to tell a story about your design, because you will always do that. You need to sell your ideas, not only with visuals, sometimes also you need to explain. So here, I would say, for example, it was coincidence, by the way. I realized it after publishing them. Like the first image, the lost driver is attended to Goodwood. Maybe now he's not lost anymore. Maybe the lost driver's story was in the back. Everything happened. Now he's known. It turned out, I don't know, he got the citizenship of the earth. I don't know, whatever. So he's on the Goodwood, proving the insane performance of his car. And then after years, start to slowly die, you know, like this legend of him, because maybe there are other ones. Maybe it becomes ordinary. Maybe it becomes boring. For whatever reason, it's abandoned. It's funny that on this generation, the driver is also still inside. And I totally didn't think about it. I would have just said, hey, remove the driver, and then it would be fine. But kind of funny to see there. Maybe it's just his suit and the helmet as a memory. He just left his identity in a barn, in a garage, and then now he's a totally different person. Whatever story. And then somebody just found this car. or bought this car, someone who is the fan of his story, and then just polished the car, renewed, resto mod, or like rebuilt the whole thing. So it's super shiny now, different identity, but the same car, same design. So it's in a clean environment like a museum, or it's like a huge house of a billionaire or whatever, but it looks clean now. And then he participated in the races, and then the car is destroyed again. You know, it's just a funny story. I don't know, I feel like mumbling now. Let's go back to Viscom. But it's important, like step by step, I was experimenting different ideas. And at some point I also asked again ChatGPT, like, what could be a cool place or cool scenario to put this car? And as you see, by the way, it started with the green, and then I said change the color into chrome. And then I put it into a white minimal architecture. So it's step by step developing this visuals. And I didn't experiment with everything ChatGPT said, but there were cool ideas like put the car in a transportation track in the highway, or put the car in a harbor. Some of them I tested, some of them I liked, some of them I didn't. But I wanted to have this pink leaves of the trees in Japan, you know, kind of contrast, like a very wild car, brutal car in the calmness and the colors of Japan. Not the Tokyo, but like, I don't even know where is it. I've never been to Japan yet. So here are some of the results that I got. I don't know if I use it myself. Okay, this one seems like ChatGPT prompt, but I also started to say ChatGPT to write the prompt shorter because it was a bit too unnecessarily long in my opinion. And then after I like something, pick it, change the colors, add more details, experimenting, like add more leaves on the car, change the angle, and then the pink worked very well because it fit to the background, it fit to the scene. And later I was like, okay, let's add some stickers to these tires because it looks cool, but something is missing. And when I say just add random details, it becomes like naked engine or a lot of stickers from different brands, like a bit random. So I didn't want that. I said type the Lost Driver as a brand for the tires. And then I was like, okay, let's change it a bit more. The stickers are cool, the Lost Driver. So this was, I think, the final image that I shared on Instagram. Oh, later I did some close-up detail shots. Some of them changed the design, some of them are nice, like this one is actually nice. Maybe I could crop it and, I don't know, zoom out or something, but some of them changed the design completely like this. Maybe it's supposed to be, it should have been like this. I thought about it while 3D modeling or also while sketching, but I thought the full circles are more brutal, like wild motorsports feeling to me. Later I also did like make a panoramic version ultra wide, so I experimented a little bit with putting them to Blender. I didn't get the result that I like, but I see a huge potential. But also, is it needed? Because at the end, anyway, I put the renders back to Viscom, so I don't need perfect renders at all. Like these images are totally fine to develop further for the renders. Wow, that's it. That's the story of the Lost Driver. When I got this idea, when I wrote this email, I was like, wow, I'm gonna make a lot of things with this. But honestly, as I'm at the end of my deadline, this will be the final presentation of this car. Probably I will get some other visuals and share it on Instagram or also on the YouTube posts. But for now, that's it for the Lost Driver. And if you watched until here all the episodes, thank you very much for being part of this journey. It was really fun for me. And very soon we're gonna start with the design lab to do it together with the participants. And I'm really excited for that. See you in the next video.